Ticket taunaba trade changaga lot size hoina changame very grateful. Yes, no worries. Nasi class is we am nungaido male nungaidin. I hope you guys have your notepad and pen. I'm so happy and grateful for brothers mentor Siva to have class for TradeHouse community. Grateful. I'm happy and grateful as I meet some people who think trading is a fraud and talking to them, I stay positive all the time, imagining their reaction when I become successful. Yes. So, adugumma tamdaidi. Noi chume haiga dum dokya me ko han bada mare yet ki hoji bokte mare yet hoji hoji imang mi im le ngon yela ba nang ai chume tholak de tumin ko I learned a quote from KT, don't try to make a big scene. Ok se isang chan ge ko na no ba ok to su saur kani nang juma ta ma to tra war to ok de dum jaga tham ga dam ne na tra so yes adu ka wa de ko don't proof adum am sam na kan da ha adu di CG process ne kana ora ni aduga once result uba hor pagan for example ai ne yum na thok ba hamra khoi mari mata lai kai mi myam je tamhan view kholan view pasha pur lak asti jeng na ga ni pasha pur lak wa yaw ja ne nungai bne bro time matam gi wari future khala nung no so idam faram ne bro no worries I'm so excited and grateful for joining the class. Very grateful that I'm able to join today's class and stay feeling good. Very grateful, bro. Over knowledge shared one people. Grateful for today's special session. Seeing your efforts, bro, and helping us grow. I really appreciate. Thank you. Thank you. Grateful. Ni samuk lai bada. Kun mukti grateful hai so grateful. Ni sam he lego. King am perfect. Okay. Now hang I see got pung 9:30 the house have 9:30 so maybe I can share you guys what I'm seeing. Trades any English trade any never any yin. I made 100 points on not pay. No, I did not hang book top we. Please am hina de way they got the Tazukani share to whenever people is on book the way. So first trade English trade I'm a low week. I took a trade today with the willow in I'll show you guys. So main thing when I see pair GBJPY say I am kanda JPY pairs say I am kanda bullish from the movement tawale yam na tawale heta ko. So I was looking for bullish opportunities adu kan sigi zone se ko any zone se ko yam we in thazai we go the book. The busiest person has always a time to do anything like masigi seeing a see like another thing like masi yam na chumbo from the experience. Yes, bro. It's all about priorities. So grateful for today's class. Class ho chiganda go there 3 bra ying birapya ying go ying. Ma'am kona pa ko. So basically, sigi fair value gaps ko. So some numit mari mama 4 days back price touches for fair value gap. I was trying to enter this. I see buy changeva changaga su pay haini some sort of accumulation pam bagita magta I key dana close to whatever. Close to matung sida I entering ngaire. Close to matung sida entering ngaire sida ko. Change aduga aina sida dum entering ngai ko GPY PFC deep retracement am pigal level ko aduna aina ngaire halaktre. Aduga sida halaktraga price na kumthara amaga si jaga soi 4 hour ding ko 4 hour retrace tawre gap cover tawre hanam hadaram retracement piraga kare kara consider there's a whole lot of liquidity sitting here. Moreover, recent liquidity zone lay because that nasi price na create a liquidity lay sigi liquidity se create a ramagane prices are kumthara aga mamang week ki Friday ka ngasi create tawul liquidity trend line liquidity macha smaller time frame liquidities me amse si lauthora aga aigi 1 hour bullish order block ko 1 hour bullish order si te la ko gai buy jangi gan dai ko si la ko buy change I'm still holding it. There's a whole lot of liquidity. Moreover, higher time frame liquidity में हम नहीं को. So like I'm planning to hold some. This is one trade ko. Ngasi ay na changi na kanbam lay ko. Kiri sang si jaga se sale sang ba yada rang ying ni yada ka di yada. But right now it's not giving me any opportunities to short. But yada man re ko. Yung na bullish momentum yung kal. So US 30 June. So I was waiting for this sang direct and gold. Gold से के तो उसे buy तो उसे goals yengo bro haidi I we have to keep an eye on this simuning da de siden chalak pa yai adu tar su dress me am kyam chat kani ha bu di ekoi na khanja ga da ne aduna khangna kill zone timing ye ko hoji di yengo no adu khangna kill zone timing ye ga chango ko hoji se buy chat pa da bhagadra sale japan I sale buy jangning ye do tar ga su you know pairs like this guy mathak on the kem thu guy bangam dri with the xy the XY na si kumagadi, maybe we can see that, but yes, mo pagi mo ang uti utle. Silver, silver. Ang de bro, di buy ningtri ko si Q&A. Agadi. Retracement do. Timing do Monday go where got. Let's see Tuesday ko mada ying se. Haying movement has about pangani ay wakal. Most probably tomorrow we'll see good movement because Wednesday the FOMC la even na price will most probably liquidity engineer tawla enable. So yes, kara gadi si ay ye by box box is lo thotha mi jobra. Ay na zu reaction pa mo jaga me am dune. Si jaga si kara gadi CL chang doro bane ba. But hujik ay na buy sang gada high with the side sure oy dabni na I'll be in the sidelines. Like it's forced option hoy again dai ko. Ado nang di goal dang taw na maybe scalping opportunities over yang uraga di can enter. Ngasa ay ngasi buy chang di chang e. Ay no high der kan chang ban. You also did not EU dollar malay chang. EU buy chang yen si gap mo chang chang ne wen. Then see so yeah. See Queen Towers. Yes. So bro, if you are ready, just drop me a message that you are ready. Uh, Grateful for conducting such a class for 3 days. Let's go together. I'm grateful I didn't the class Chang Chang and Yawo Pong Java Tung the Show the Yes. Cricket match win semi-final Changle new chief guest welcome to the emotional THC members in the Anovan Oles me Ampiram Ni Khanbagi. I'm grateful Oizare. Amazon THC mentor Ani Wisuma Unaba. I'm grateful bro. Siva 20% video recording inside. Great. Today I'm very grateful because I had a chance to join Bro Siva's class and I think I'll be one of the most amazing classes. Grateful. Goal 50 pips here, a lot of me and a pump pips 10 okay. 50 year already ka oko. Have the chain the one with have like chill the one with have like I see the chain by chance I'm name me. Chain by a chill room natra. Mama Fidela. Aduna what happened with naming so 50 is a am no Kapam never goal gidi 50 the fatal token never chain the one with the 50 fatal tokeni chain manumit na 100 the tokeni and my lay that 50 the room kapio so I my radio from the hungry cop. Okay everyone, so today is the 10th of June, right? Main thing is we are almost done with 50% of the year and we have another 50% of the year which is in our control. The way we use this 6 months is the way we will get our results in 2025. The kind of the level that we will be, the money that we will make, or the person that we will be in 2025 will be dictated by the 6 months, by the work that we put inside the 6 months, right? So as you guys know, I started I started learning trading 2018, 19. So in 2019, I joined a training education company where I met a very close person, a very close. Now he's a friend to me, a brother to me. So he taught me basically, in the starting days, the basic smart money concepts that I know now. He's the person who taught me. We started together. We were working together until 2021, and then 2022 I started TradeHouse community. And this name TradeHouse also came from America. So TradeHouse is basically an original group which is still there in America. I got so impacted by these people, by Siva and many other people, by a few of my mentors, that I still kept the name TradeHouse, and I'm grateful that they are fine with it using the name. So today I thought I will call my brother here to to share his experience, moreover to make people understand that what needs to be done to become successful, and for a person living in a third world country, right? So he is someone who is doing a lot of stuff right now. He's a sniper like many of us. He's a trader. He's managing a lot of funds. He's also a crypto expert. He is quite good with cryptos. He's an educator with a company called I Am Mastery Academy. He's a trading educator. And most of the things that I know, he has taught me. So I want all of you guys to drop some fire emojis, to drop some numbers, to drop some anything, and welcome my brother, my friend, Siva. Siva, if you can hear me, you can turn on your mic. You can, yeah.
Yo, what's good? Can y'all hear me? Okay, can I get some thumbs up? How's everybody doing? Man, it has been a while since I've been on a call with the India squad, that's for sure. So just like Mahesh, I appreciate you. It's honestly been it's been a while just seeing your growth, just seeing how big just smart money in general has become in the small amount of years that we've really been pushing it. And I'm honestly grateful to say that, without the TradeHouse, I mean, I wouldn't be here either. For some of you, you guys might know me. Some of you, you might not. I'm just going to give a brief introduction on myself so we're not complete strangers. Sound is very low. Shouldn't
No,
be.
it's good. It's good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. I was gonna say I got a podcast mic. You guys should be able to hear me fine. But my name is Siva. I'm 29 years old. I'm a father to a 2-year-old. I've been trading now for going into 5 years. TradeHouse is really where I started my journey. February 26, 2019 is when I first joined the TradeHouse. Man, what can I say? I was an Amazon driver when I first started, this journey. I was delivering packages. That was what I was doing for a living. I never finished college or university. I did get myself into a college program to learn how to become a mechanic. But then once I started applying for jobs, I was working full time and I was going to school full time. So at the time, it didn't make sense for me to leave my current job and start fresh as a mechanic because I would be earning less. So I ended up dropping out of school and then I just continued to do my work. After that, I found Amazon. I was earning pretty decent there, but I was working literally 6 to 7 days a week, spending my entire day there. And I really wasn't enough for me. The main reason why I even got into trading was because in 2019, my mom turned 65 years old, and that was the age of retirement. I mean, anything that I tell you guys, I feel is irrelevant because I'm giving you guys first world problems. You guys are in third world. So, I know it's way harder for you guys out there, right? My parents actually came from Sri Lanka. I am Sri Lankan or Tamil. And you know, my parents left Sri Lanka in 1985 and I was born in Canada. So I'm, you know, I can't fully relate with what you guys go through because I wasn't born in a third world country, but you know, I'm first generation Canadian, you know, so I understand the troubles and, you know, just what it is out there because I mean, my family experienced it. They went through it. And, you know, for me, just seeing my mom, you know, come from a country like that to then work her entire life was just ridiculous to me. So trading is what really pushed me to be like, yo, I need to step up. My mom has worked her entire life and I need to take over things. Like she's 65 years old and you know, that situation that she was going through, she still had to work. Even though she was 65, just to pay the bills at home, she still had to work. I was working at the time, but obviously what I was making a month wasn't enough. So that's why I was like, yo, I need to learn a new skill set. And that's where trading came along. I saw one of my friends post on Instagram about stocks and trading. I kind of had an idea of what it was, but nothing really too much. And then he introduced me to his mentor, which is one of the mentors here in the TradeHouse, Zachary Hogan, who's somebody who's been doing this for 10 years. He's my mentor, also a close friend of mine as well. Just same way as me and Mahesh have a relationship, same way I have a relationship with Zachary. And I mean, the rest has been history since then. I I did something very different that I do not, and this is a big I do not recommend anybody to do this, but when I was working, I had a good amount of money saved up, right? I had about $50,000 Canadian at the time saved up, and I took a leap of faith. When I was working my job at Amazon, it got to a point where I got really fed up. Not only that, I actually got into a fist fight with two coworkers at work. I know it's crazy, right? Like you go to work to make money and we're out here fighting. It's stupid. But anyways, those guys got mad and they ended up fighting me inside of a gas station, which is stupid, I know. But anyways, that was my tipping point, right? Because I was working 80 hours a week. I was outside all day. I know in India, you guys don't really need to deal with much snow, but you know, I had to deal with snow, a bunch of all this BS. And I ended up quitting my job that day because I was just fed up. I quit my job. I had savings that I could fall back on. And I ended up just pursuing trading and entrepreneurship full time. And you know, it was a rough ride. It really was. Once again, I would not recommend anybody to cut off their cash flow. Cash flow is very important, right? Even right now for you guys, even if you're learning how to trade, it's important to have money coming in because if you're able to pay for your livelihood every single month, it gives a different mindset when you're trading. Because let's say if you have to trade to make money to pay the bills, then you're going to be forced to take trades. You're going to be forced to be in a mentality like, I need to make money. And that's not a great mindset to be in because now you're not trading what you see, but you're forcing setups because you have to pay the water bill next week, or you have to pay rent next week, or I need to feed the kids. You're not in the right mind space, right? And that's the issue. And I started to realize this. Reason why I'm grateful for the academy that I'm a part of, because it was network marketing. So I was able to not only learn how to trade, but I was also able to build capital with network marketing as well. So this allowed me over time to start building more streams of cash flow, right? I'm not only an educator, a part of the company. I have the cash flow of network marketing. I have an online business that I run with, my wife. And, that's the thing I want to push out here as well, guys, is the importance of multiple streams of income, right? Because even someone like Mahesh, right? Mahesh doesn't just trade, right? He has other streams of income for him too. And I understand this is easy for me to say because I live in a country like America, but even with you guys in India, the whole thing about multiple streams of income is You're solving other people's problems and you're able to make money, right? That's really how it is. If you're able to provide a solution for somebody else, you can make money. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, especially now, right? People are noticing around the world that the job market is starting to hurt now, right? Couldn't you guys agree? Even in India, it's hard to find a job right now, right? It's hard to find work, sustainable work. If anything, you're working for a few months and then the job is gone, or, you know, there's another person that comes in that can do better than you. But there's one thing that I can tell you right now, though. That's the regular job market, right? That's your regular job market, construction, plumbing, you know, working at stores, IT companies, all that stuff. But guess what? There's a whole new job market being developed right now as we speak. And what is that? The digital age, right? You're able to make money from wherever you are in the world. You're able to make money by making videos online, right? Online income is not calculated in employment right now. So if anything, compared to any other time in the world, it's easier to make money now than before, right? In the US, unemployment rates are going higher than they've ever gone in the history. But guess what? That doesn't calculate people that are making money through AI. That doesn't calculate people that are making money through trading. That doesn't calculate people that are selling online products. These are all things that you guys can even take advantage of in India. Do you know how many people make TikTok stores right now and they're earning, you know, $1,000, $10,000 extra a month for creating an online video? This is the type of age we are going into, right? So when I had this understanding, I made sure everything possible to put in the work that I needed to work. When I first started trading and network marketing, this has been my first and only network marketing company, by the way. And I'm grateful for it because it taught me so many different skills, right? Now, I'm not on this call to pitch you guys a network marketing company. That's the other thing I want to mention here. But I'm here speaking from my experience, right? Because I think there's some key things that you guys need to understand. Number one, it's having a burning desire to win, but having a burning desire, period. That's very important. Everyone says, oh, yeah, obviously you want to have a mindset of working. Yes, everybody does, right? What makes you different than someone else that wants to make money? There really isn't. Everybody in the world wants to make money, right? Can we not all agree? Drop some ones in the chat if you want to make money. I mean, everybody wants to make money, right? Who doesn't? What makes you different than someone else that's in McDonald's or someone else that's working at the biryani shop down the street? There's nothing different from you than other individual. But the biggest difference is your community, the access to information you have, right? Communities like the ones you guys are in right now. TradeHouse is a community that helped me think differently because the common people that I was hanging out with, the people that I grew up with, my high school friends, my college friends, you know, even some of my coworkers, they are all average people, right? Maybe some of them want to think outside the box, but let's be real. That's average people, right? Let's understand one important number here. 95% of the entire world is employed. Only 5% is investors or business owners. So what does that mean? 95% of the people in the world are most likely not the people that you want to be around if you want to make money. Can we all agree on that? Drop some threes in the chat if we can agree on that, right? 95% of the people most likely, hey, they might be good friends. They might be there if you need a shoulder to cry on, but they're probably not the people we want to listen to if we're trying to make money. So this is the reason why even now, right? Like I said, I was born in Canada, but in 2021 of November, I actually moved to Texas, right? Which is a state inside of the United States. For the ones that don't know, I think it is the best state in the world, right? And Mahesh, you know, is making his way over here to Texas too as we speak. All right. But anyways, all jokes aside though, right? I've been able to change my situation, but I'm no different than anybody else here. All I had was a burning desire. I also learned from the people that have the things that I want. And that's the other thing that you guys need to realize as well. This is the importance of having that community, right? Because when I got introduced to the TradeHouse, I didn't know Zachary. I didn't know Jordan Morgan. I didn't know Mike Miles. These are all new people to me. It's the same thing with me and Mahesh. Me and Mahesh still haven't met in person yet. But the reason why that me and him are able to connect so much is because we have a lot of the same common goals. We have the same common vision. If you guys are inside of a friends group and you're getting bored of the conversations that they are talking about, that is most likely telling you that you need to find a new friends group. Let's be real. It's because now you're getting bored, right? Like the other day, me and Mahesh were sitting there talking on the phone, and we spent an hour on the phone. I've never met this guy in person. Yes, I've built an online relationship with him, but how am I able to hold a conversation with somebody that I barely know on the phone, but I can barely hold a conversation with maybe some of my close friends that are not even open-minded? That's the difference. That's the difference between this community compared to any other, right? Is because you have multiple people that have the same like-minded thinking, right? I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this story before. It's the same species of monkeys, okay? They're on two different islands. I'm going to call it Island A and Island B, okay? On Island A, they have the same monkey as Island B. Island B doesn't know how to, what's the example that I can use here? Peel a banana, okay? I know every monkey knows how to peel a banana, but let's just say Island B doesn't know how to peel a banana, okay? But Island A does. They're the same species of monkeys. Now, there's water in between them, and they don't know how to swim and get to the other side. But guess what? Over time, just because Island B had the same monkeys and the same like-mindedness, they ended up learning how to peel the banana the same way Island A did. I know this was probably a shitty example, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying, though, right? Like-minded people, sooner or later, you're going to end up getting to where those people get to. It's just a matter of, are you going to continue to follow and learn from those people, right? Till this day, why did I move to Texas? Well, this is where my mentors are at. Zachary Hogan, Jordan Morgan, Mike Miles, all of the people that I first heard about in the TradeHouse, the ones that I met in 2019, they're the ones that I'm now living around. Why is that? Is because I want to continue to be around my mentors. I want to continue learning from the people that have the things that I want. For example, if you guys want to become like somebody, then you need to live, eat, breathe like that person. You can't expect to be that person if you're doing the same things, right? Can we not agree on that? If nothing changes, write this down, right? If you guys, hopefully you guys are taking notes, by the way, right? If nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you continue to do the same things that you were doing before, how do you expect to get to where you want to go? All of us here are saying, hey, I want to make $1 million. I want to make, what is it? Crows? I think crows is $1 million, right? For you guys, crows and lax, right? You guys want to make your first crow, right? But how are you going to do that if you're still sitting at home watching the same drama series? How are you going to keep doing the same thing if you're sitting there playing whatever game you guys play there that's popular in India? Maybe if it's League of Legends or whatever. I still play League of Legends here and there. Hey, if you guys want to play a game, let me know. All right. I still game here and there. But that's the thing, though. It's a difference. I'm gaming as a reward. But if you're gaming as a necessity, there's a problem. That's a problem. See, last week, I played a game on Friday. Why? Because I had an amazing trading week. My account grew. I withdrew from the market. I rewarded myself by playing a game. That's different. Whereas some people, they get up and they literally are just doing a bunch of BS, right? They're sitting there scrolling on social media. They're sitting there outside talking and drinking with people that aren't trying to grow. Let me tell you something. If I look at every single one of y'all, and I were to see you with the group of friends, I can tell you who you are going to become. The 5 people that you surround yourself the most around, those are the people that you're going to turn into. So if you're hanging around with 5 people that just drink alcohol and club and go dancing and try to sleep with a bunch of different women, well, guess what? That's who you're going to become. But let's say if you're the person that hangs out with Mahesh as much as possible, or you hang out with the other people inside of your TradeHouse community that are looking to thrive more, reading books, listening to audios, coming to seminars, creating wealth for themselves, building capital, passing funding challenges, investing in crypto, taking advantage of AI, building businesses, traveling the world. Well, guess what? You're going to thrive just like those people. Right? It's as simple as that. But you need to surround yourself around the right individuals. Right? It's crazy. You know, Mahesh, I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but I truly believe our conversation last week is powerful because, you know, he's somebody that's been in the space for a while now. And he himself said that there's things that he learned in TradeHouse that he was not able to learn in other places. And he genuinely believes that this is where he likes to see his long-term growth. And that's why he came back and he's now a part of the TradeHouse again. And that's the thing that I want you guys to understand as well. See, he had a realization that I never got something. I'm always getting it. Because the second you tell yourself, hey, I learned everything that I learned, now you're capping yourself. You're creating a ceiling, right? The only way you can grow past the ceiling is if you continue to grow. So this is why it is so important to have a long-term vision. Not only a vision of your goals, but a vision for your education. Like I said, who doesn't want to make $1 million? I mean, all of us do, right? And I would write that down. I never got it. I'm always getting it. Because the second you tell yourself you got something, now you're blocking your blessings, right? The second you say, oh, hey, I know how to trade, well, the market is going to humble you. Because now you think you know how to trade, the market's about to probably blow an account for you, right? Because that's what happens. You have to continue to stay educated. I got humbled. My first year in trading, I hit a very nice week. I made my first, 4 figures in the market. And as quick as I made that first 4 figures, and I'm like, yo, I know how to trade. I'm a god. Like I gave myself so much praising, right? I was like, yo, I'm the best at trading. No one can beat me in trading. And then guess what? The next week, oh man, that market humbled me. I lost that money. That's what happens, right? The ego gets to you. Ego is the enemy, right? That's an amazing book that you guys can pick up by Ryan Holiday. Ego is the enemy. It's actually a trilogy, right? There's Obstacle is the Way as well, which is the one after that, and there's one prior to that. But that's an amazing trilogy. I would recommend each and every single one of y'all to read it. Okay? But ego is the enemy. The only way to tame your ego, because ego is going to happen. I mean, we're humans, right? You have an amazing trading week. You can come back the next week and, ego, it happens. But the biggest thing is you got to tame and understand that ego, right? You got to truly understand that ego. And the best way to do that is to learn more about human psychology. Better yet, learn more about yourself. See, people think trading is all about technicals. It's not. Technicals are the easy part, to be honest with you. Because technicals is like learning math. Once you learn that 1 + 1 = 2, I mean, do you forget that? No, right? 2 × 2 is 4. I mean, once you learn that, now it's in your head forever, right? It's the same thing with trading. Once you learn certain concepts, it sticks with you forever. But it's the mindset, the psychology, the planning, right? Your trading plan, all of that stuff. That's the challenging part. A lot of people will go towards trading and think that it's all just, oh, I take this trade based off of this and that's it. But they fail to do one important thing. And that is what? Journaling. Drop a 1 in the chat right now if you guys have a trading journal. And if you don't have a trading journal, drop a 4. Be honest. Okay, I see some honesty in the chat. So, let me ask you this question. What do you think some of the biggest companies in the world are doing? Do you think that they just come out with product after product after product without going through and doing any analysis on their products? How do you think most people are trading? They take trade after trade after trade, and they don't go back and study their previous trade. If you take 4 losses in a row and you don't study why you took those losses and now you go to take a trade again, you're most likely going to take another loss, right? Or you might take a win. I mean, who knows? But the idea of the fact that you're continuously trading without doing any back testing on your own analysis, there's a problem, right? This is why journaling is so important. How many hours do you guys spend a day back testing right now? Drop a 1 in the, or drop that number in the chat. How much time do you spend back testing? 6 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours? Okay. Okay, let me ask you this question now. Okay. How many hours do you guys spend studying your previous trades? Drop that number in the chat. Look at how the chat became so silent compared to before. You guys saw how the numbers were going? Now it's slowing down. If anything, the numbers are less. That's a problem. Why are you spending so much time backtesting the market, but you're not spending that much time backtesting yourself? That's a problem. Why is it a problem? Well, think about it this way. If you're reacting, remember, it's you against the market, right? It doesn't matter what trade idea Mahesh calls. It's you against the market. Mahesh can win on that trade and you can lose because it all comes down to you, right? Mahesh took GJ today. Mahesh took, I think, US 30 as well or something else, right? He's taking those trades. I took NASDAQ. I took, gold or whatever. I didn't actually take any trades today, but just as an example, right? But hey, Mahesh can come out with the win and you can come out with the loss. The outcome of the trade all comes down to you. So why am I saying this? So many people spend a lot of time back testing the market and learning from it, which is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you guys not to back test, but there needs to be a reason to back test. Let's say if you're learning a new concept or you're trying to put structure together with wick off and Fibonacci and seasonality, all the different confirmations and technicals you guys have. Perfect. You need to learn that. But if you're not actually going back and learning, okay, let's say if you took 10 trades this week, right? I know it's a new week. Let's say last week. Let's say if you took 10 trades last week, and out of those 10 trades, you lost 6 of them and you won 4. But now you're starting the new week and you didn't even go back and learn from your losses. That's a problem. Why? Is because now you're going into the new week with not learning the mistakes that you made in the previous one. Because guess what? Now you can most likely, you're going to come into this new week making more mistakes. Maybe you might even make the same mistake that you made last week, but now because you didn't even learn from it, you're going to do it again. Do you know what we call this? We call this insanity, right? Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? That's what the definition of insanity is. So why are you not backtesting your trades? The ones that you take in your journal. All right, Kevin Trudeau's goated. I mean, I study Kevin Trudeau a lot too. It's probably why Mahesh put you on that, because that's something that we've been talking about, right? KT is goated, 100%. So this is the thing that I want you guys to truly understand, right? Hold on. Sorry, I just needed to reply to that real quick. Okay. So this is the thing that we need to understand, right? We can't spend so much time just backtesting the market. We need to spend time with backtesting ourselves too, because this is where the longer term growth comes in for each and every single one of y'all. Right? So number one, you guys need to make sure that you have dreams and goals in the back of your mind. Create a vision board, right? For me, my vision board is right up here, right? I have all of my vision. I don't know if you guys can see, right? I got like my cars that I want, the houses, the gold bricks, everything. That's all up there. My vision board is there. I'm looking at it every single day, right? It's there. That's important. You need to have your goals, your vision, right? Next thing, you need to be in the right community. If you guys are a part of this community here, perfect. Continue to stay here. Continue to learn. If anything, as you grow, there's even probably other communities you guys want to be taken advantage of too. I mean, there's nothing wrong from that. You want to continuously grow, right? Because KT says this as well. If you're not growing, you're dying. There's no in between, right? It's either you're leveling up or you're leveling down. There's no flat plane. That's not how life works. That's why I'm telling you guys, you're always getting it. You never got it. Because the second you got it, that's the part where you're going to start to trickle back down, right? So this is why having a long-term vision is important, right? I'm going to share an image with you guys here. Okay? I'm going to share my screen. 1 second. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Can I get some ones in the chat if you guys can see my screen? Okay, perfect. All right, so this is a long-term game. This is a long-term game. And this image breaks it down for you. Most people come into trading and they think it's a get rich quick. Those are the same people that end up blowing their accounts and saying trading is a scam. Trading isn't a scam. I mean, I'm doing this basically full time now. Mahesh is. Is it really a scam? This is giving me time freedom. This has allowed me to give my mother time freedom, right? Like the amount of trips she's been able to go on, the amount of time that I have. I'm able to, yes, I work, but I'm able to see my son more often than my father saw me. Because my dad was always at work, right? My dad barely saw me grow up. That's not the case anymore for me. I take Raja to the park at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. in the afternoon. To me, that's a blessing that I'm able to do that, right? Because when I was growing up, I couldn't go to the park with my parents during the day. Because of what I do, my wife doesn't need to worry about making money. She can focus on being a mom to our kid. To me, that's more powerful than anything else. She's a stay-at-home mom and she's a homemaker. On top of that, she trades as well. She builds a business as well. That's extra stuff that she does. But she's actually able to focus on being a mom. Why? Because I trusted this skill set. So don't think that you guys are going to get rich in like a week or a month. Look at it longer than that. Right? These are actual statistics. All traders come in thinking that they're going to get rich quick. Those are the same people that blow their accounts. And then they're like, trading is a scam. It doesn't work. No, trading works. Do you work? Are you willing to put in the time? Because it's not just me. Okay? 40% of people trade only for 1 month. The people that make it past that point, they trade for 1 month, right? 80% of people quit within the first 2 years. I mean, Mahesh is literally a statistic of this. So am I, right? We're the 20% of people after 2 years that stuck with this. Better yet, I'm starting to become the 7% that's remaining after 5 years because I'm now in my 5th year, going into my 6th year, right? So it's like, you know, even in the TradeHouse community, right? We had thousands of people join in 2020. Thousands, right? I had a team over 500 people. Yes, my team is 50, 60 people. Why is that? Like I just showed you guys, the first 2 years, 80% of people quit. Some of the people that you see on the Zoom call right now are not going to be here in a year or 2 years from now. You'll be like, hey, what happened to Peter? He's not here anymore. What happened to Pradeep? He's not here anymore. Right? Just taking some random names here. I'm not saying you guys are not going to be here anymore. If anything, prove us wrong. Be here a year or 2 years from now. Be like, remember that call we did with Siva? He called out my name and told me I wouldn't be here, and I'm still here. Prove me wrong. Right? Because like I said, mass majority of people end up quitting this. How long does it take to get a university degree? Drop it in the chat. How many years does that take? How many years does it take to get a college or university degree? I mean, this number changes, right? Anywhere. If you're going to college, 2 years, university, 3, 4, 5 years. If you're a doctor, even longer. If you're an engineer, even longer. So why are we not treating trading the same way? Because trading is just as much as a skill set as any other market out there, right? If you guys are going through and learning, just like how a student goes to learn how to be a doctor at university, what makes this any different? Why do you expect to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a couple of months or even a couple of years when you're not willing to, when people that go to become a doctor, they're spending 4 years in school with making no money. Why is this any different than that? It's not. It's really not. You need to have a longer term vision. If you're willing to go to school to become a doctor, an engineer, a plumber, whatever it is, for 3, 4, 5 years, then if you want to become a trader, y'all need to keep going, right? If I were to take an analogy on myself, I've been a student in TradeHouse for 4 years, right? I'm now working on my master's. I'm on my 5th year. I'm a master's. I'm working on my master's now. That's how I'm thinking. Better yet, I'm going to do even longer than that because the market is something that continuously changes. Even the job market. Think about it. The same thing a doctor learned in 1980 is not the same thing they learn in 2024. The curriculum changes, right? It's the same thing with trading. Trading is not the same. I know Mahesh can agree with us, agree with me on this, but literally the algorithm has changed now. Before, institutional candles and smart money, it was like easier to trade. Now we're seeing more liquidity runs. We're seeing more manipulation. The market is faster than when it was when we first started. It's because the market is changing. So if the market's going to continue to change, you need continued education from people that have proven records. I know Mahesh has a track record. I have a track record, right? To me, to be a part of the academy that I'm a part of, I need to show minimum a 10% growth every quarter to be an educator on my platform. Otherwise, I'm not qualified. Right? And that's minimum. Obviously, we can go further than that. And guess what? That's me only risking 0.25% a trade. I'm risking 0.25% a trade to make 10% in a quarter. So think about that risk reward. That's like a 1 to 32 risk reward if I were to do it in one trade. Think longer. Okay? I want y'all to understand this because, you know, what if you just stuck to this for 4 years, 5 years continuously? Where would you be? I mean, me and Mahesh are testaments of this, right? We stuck to this 4 or 5 years. Look where we're at now, right? I remember Mahesh used to live with his family. Now he's living in a better place, a better house. He's traveling the world. Me, I'm not even living in the country I'm born anymore. I'm in Texas. I'm in a state where I could own guns. I think that's amazing. I can protect myself and my family. Because in Canada, it wasn't so safe. Right? In Texas, this is the 8th highest GDP anywhere in the world. The real estate market is growing. Everything is growing here. I'm in a prosperous state. That's why I moved here. There's so many perks. I'm able to be around my business owners. Here's the best part. Canada was cold as shit. So cold, there's snow. Texas, I'm sweating. I'd rather be hot than cold. You guys obviously don't need me to tell you guys that because you guys are in India. Obviously, India's hot too, okay? But I'd rather be in a warm country than a cold country. It helped me change my living altogether. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You guys, if you guys truly stick to this long term, you don't even need to live in India. You can live wherever you want to. Because guess what? To trade, all you need is a computer and a phone. That's it. Isn't that crazy? That's all you need. So if you want to truly get towards this lifestyle, then you need to put in the time. And the biggest thing that's important for this is capital preservation. Write this in caps on your notebook, underline it, put a star beside it, take a highlighter, highlight over it, do what you need to do. If I was you, write it on a big piece of paper and stick it in front of your computer. Because the only way that you can go long-term in trading is capital preservation. Like I told you earlier, most people come into this and they come in and try to get rich quick and blow their accounts. That's what people try to do. People also try to rush the learning process, right? They're starting to trade with high percentage risk when they don't even know what a breaker structure is, when they haven't even, traded for like a year. Now they're trying to risk high percentage. Don't rush the process. Conserve your capital. Capital preservation. The longer, the more money you have, the longer that you can go in trading. Because the second you lose your money, you're going to give up. That's what happens to most people. They lose the money that they have. They lose their savings. And then they go tell everybody, oh, trading is a scam. I tried to try it. And I blew my account. That's because they didn't take the right risk. They didn't get continued education. They didn't continue to learn from their journal and backtest themselves. Any of the people that dropped a 4 earlier that don't have a trading journal after this, Mahesh, you got to give them some consequences, man. 20 push-ups, 50 push-ups. You got to give them some consequences, because if they're not taking their trading seriously, that's why you don't have a journal. Seriously, right? Because now, if you don't have a journal or you're not backtesting yourself, you're not treating this like a profession. You're treating this like a hobby. Because like I told you guys earlier, big companies go and learn from their mistakes. How do you think NVIDIA, Apple, Google, right? Some of the biggest, Amazon, some of these biggest companies that we know, yes, they make mistakes. They take retracements on their stock price too. But guess what? They make new higher highs. How do they make new higher highs after a higher low? Because they're open to learning from their mistakes. They don't just hide their mistakes. They learn from them. So you guys need to be learning from your mistakes as well. That's why this is a continued process. Okay? So write this down. Number 1, you guys need to make sure that you have strong goals. And break down your goals. Let's say your long-term goal is to make $1 million. We'll start to break that down. What do I need to do a week, a month, a day to get to that point? This also doesn't mean that I need to force a trade to make that happen, but you have a visual representation of, okay, this is what I need to do. Let's say you guys want to bring in an extra couple of $100 a month just for living costs or something like that. What do you need to do? So start creating those goals, right? Next thing. Now that you have the goals, what is the form of action you're going to take to get to that place? So what do you need to do? Trading can obviously be one part of that. Or pick up other things you can do part-time. You don't have to sit behind your computer all day to trade. I'd even take a trade today, but I'm still up for the month. You don't need to trade every day. Find other things you can do. Here's the other thing. You guys are in India. You know how many companies that are in the US trying to hire Indian people? Because it's cheaper for them. But you can still make more money than someone else in India just because you took a foreign job. Right? Yes, they pay less compared to an American, but they still pay more than an average job in India. Take advantage of that. Why not? What if you can bring an extra couple of $100 a month? That will go a long way. Now you have money to trade. Now you have more money to invest into crypto. Right? When I first started crypto, I only put a few $1,000s in. But I was able to transform that few $1,000s to 6 figures in the right investments. I could have made even more, but it was my first crypto bull cycle. I didn't take profit on everything that I should have. It's okay. Guess what? There's another crypto cycle happening right now, and I'm going to do better than I did the last time. It's the same thing with Mahesh, right? Because it's all a learning process. That's the other thing. People think journaling is just for trading. It's not. You can journal long-term investments. You can journal your life. Literally, you can journal your life. Okay, it looks like there's some young people here. Let's say if you guys are still living with your parents, you can journal how you react to situations with your parents. Because at the end of the day, you're learning to become a better version of yourself, right? The same way you have patience and discipline with your parents or your kids is the same patience and discipline you'll have in the market. For example, let's say if you're a son, right, to a father, but your dad is telling you to do something and you're not respecting that, and now you're arguing with him. Obviously, this is a horrible example. Let me give a different example, right? Let's say if you're a father and you have a son. My son is 2 years old, okay? I'm just going to use him as the example right now. My 2-year-old son obviously does not know how to do a lot of things. He's still learning. He's 2 years old. But me over here as an adult, I'm like, oh, he should know how to do that. How is a 2-year-old kid going to know how to put on his shoes for the first time ever? You got to teach him. Not only that, you got to be patient. I can't expect my 2-year-old kid to even put on it after I showed him once. I can't expect him to do that the second time by himself. I might need to help him the second time. I need to be patient. So I also journal my activities that I do with my son. If I'm impatient or I get frustrated or I do things where I made things more difficult for him, when in reality, I should be there as the father to help him. I journal those things down because at the end of the day, you're not just learning from trading for journaling. You can learn from every aspect in your life. You can have a journal for your business. You can have a journal for trading. You can have a journal for your day-to-day lifestyle, all of that, right? So outside of just building goals and having an action plan, now start to think about what are some of the things that I could do to free up more time, right? So for example, when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I cut off a lot of friends that weren't benefiting me. I didn't cut them off. I didn't say, hey, don't talk to me ever again. I just said, hey, I need some space. I'm not going to be hanging out as much as I used to just because I have some things to focus on. Hopefully you can respect that. That's what I said to them. It doesn't mean your friend that you knew from 4 years old, you just cut him off and you never talk to him again. No, just let him know, hey, I want to focus on some things, so I'm not going to come out as often. Build that boundary with certain people in your life. This isn't just your friends. You can say this to your parents. I know with brown parents it's a little bit different because they'll bring out the stick and start beating you, right? Okay, I know it's different for us, but hey, even with my mom, I didn't tell her I started trading right away. I showed her some results, right? I made a few withdrawals, and then she was open to it. You guys got to remember, I have a Sri Lankan mom, right? I got my ass beat growing up. Like I had knives thrown at me. I had sticks broken. Trust me, okay? Just because we're in North America does not mean that culture goes away. That sometimes does carry over, okay? Right? It happens. But you got to understand from their standpoint too. They never seen anybody be successful in this. So obviously they're going to doubt you, right? That's why you got to prove them wrong. Maybe you don't say anything right now, but let's say you make your first 1,500 rupees, 1,500 rupees withdrawal from the market. I don't even know if, is that even a lot? I don't even know if that's a lot of money, to be honest. That does not sound like it's a lot, okay? Okay, let's say you make 100,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees or something like that, right? Now that's going to be more tangible for you to show your mom or your wife or husband or whoever, right? So it's like you can work on something quietly, but then now once you see some results, you can now show that and help the people around you gain confidence for you too. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm around certain people, especially my parents, I want to make sure that they're supporting me, right? Bro, Siva's words today are like sharp edge knife cut thing, making no mistake. Okay, I don't know if I understand your wording there, but I'm grateful, right? I'm grateful it's helping you out. But what I was saying was, um, it's like obviously the people around you are not going to believe what you do right now. Because I mean, you're doing something that the mass majority of people aren't successful in. But if you're truly staying with this long term, show them the progression, right? Show them the first withdrawal you made, no matter how small it is. Be like, look, Amma, I made this. I've been studying this without you knowing for the last few months. I've been doing this, right? On top of me working, on top of doing what you told me to do already. You know, I'm working a job. I'm doing what I need to do. But here, look, I'm also doing this on top. Don't you think your mom or your significant other will be like, wow, I didn't even know you were working on this. On top of you working and doing this, now you're doing something else and you actually gain some results from it. That's how I introduced this to my parents after I got some results, right? And especially if your parents are supporting you, be grateful, because I know so many people that their parents did not support them. They had to literally move out. They had to go find their own place and do this because they didn't support them. But like I said, why not build like a resume to help them support you, right? So once again, make the sacrifices that you need to make, right? If you need to back away with some of the friends that you're with right now, there's nothing wrong with that. Habits. Maybe it's time to quit drinking, quit smoking, quit playing a lot of video games right now. Maybe only play a game when you had a profitable day or you had a profitable week, or better yet, a profitable day or week doesn't mean anything if you don't hit a withdrawal. Maybe up until the fact that you made your first withdrawal, maybe you play nothing. That's what I did. I quit drinking. I had a huge alcohol problem. I quit drinking when I first started. I smoked a lot of weed and I played a lot of video games and I watched Netflix. So I had 4 things that weren't benefiting me. So I canceled them all out. I told all the friends that I didn't need to hang out with that, hey, I'm not going to hang out this weekend. I'm not going to hang out this next weekend. I unsubscribed from Netflix. I uninstalled all the games on my computer. And Literally, I just, I kind of cold turkeyed smoking and everything. I actually flushed all the weed that I had left in my house down the toilet. Because I'm not, and I deleted my dealer's number so I'll never call him again. These are the types of things you need to be doing, right? And then, hey, let's say you make your first withdrawal. Let's say you get a funded account. You make your first withdrawals. There's nothing wrong. Okay, maybe you celebrate and you have a drink with I was going to say your dad, but some of us here probably are not drinking with their parents. But, let's say you go out for a drink, one drink, right? Just you celebrate a little bit. There's nothing wrong with a little celebration, right? But get to that goal first. Same thing with me last week, right? You get to that point, sure, reward yourself. Okay? So I know we've been here for almost an hour. I'm going to wrap things up with one last thing that I want to really say here. The biggest thing that I want you guys to understand with all of this is it is consistency. And I've been reiterating it in different ways today. It's really consistency. Look at this like you look at any other profession. Yeah, time does fly. Exactly. Right? Time flies. And for all the people that dropped a 4 earlier that don't have a trading plan, how long do you want to trade without a trading plan for when time is flying like this? It's crazy. Just yesterday, I remember seeing my son as a baby. Now he's 2 years old. Right? We don't have time to be messing around. Our parents aren't getting younger. You aren't getting younger. The world isn't getting easier. If anything, it's getting harder. So you do really have time to be messing around and finding out. You don't. Right? So start taking this seriously, starting from today. The biggest thing that helped me grow to build consistency, I created a schedule for myself. And I make it repetitive every single day almost. There's really not that much difference from Siva's Monday to Friday. I wake up the same time every single day. Even on the weekend, I'll wake up just in case, unless if I'm, these last couple of weekends have been a little bit different because I've been out later or whatever. But I mean, hey, I do see some older gentlemen in here. And if you have kids, you guys understand it doesn't matter what age you are. But at a certain point, you'll get up at 7 a.m. because your kids are up. Okay. So you have like a natural alarm clock inside your house, right? But wake up the same day, same time, same day. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about this before, but it's called the circadian rhythm. Google it, do some research on it. There's a reason why roosters, you guys know roosters that go cockle-doodle-doo every day? There's a reason they do that. It's a circadian rhythm. Especially if you guys have a rooster at your house, there's no reason for you guys not to be getting up when that rooster is getting up, right? Early bird gets the worm. There's a reason for that slogan. If you get up before anybody else that gets up, you're going to be further than those people, right? Because everybody goes to work, right? But most people get up 1 hour before they need to go to work. It's that get up. I hit the cable on my mic. I apologize. Okay. I'm a little too excited right now. I said I was going to say last thing, but I'm still here saying more stuff. Hopefully you guys don't mind me taking up more time. But so it's like, early bird gets the worm, right? But it's like most people get up an hour early for work and that's it. But it's the people that get earlier than that are able to grow more. And like I said, make sure that you have a certain rhythm to you waking up, because trading is a rhythm. The sessions don't change. New York time is the same time. London time is the same time. So why should your time be getting up and sleeping any different? I've actually personally been testing this. And I've read this in the Bhagavad Gita. And I've also read this in this book here. It's called The Wisdom of the Vedas. This is about like the Vedic tribes. If you guys know, obviously, India and South Asia in general, we have some of the oldest history known to mankind. And you guys also know, Tamil is the mother of all languages, right? And you guys also know that India has a lot of philosophies, and in Sri Lanka has a lot of philosophies that have been around for hundreds, thousands of years. And one of the things that they talk about in this book is circadian rhythm. But more importantly, they talk about how you only need 6 hours of sleep. You don't need more than that, right? Some people say 6 to 8. I've experimented with 8, and this is all my personal stuff, by the way. We're all different, obviously, but for me personally, I'm good with 6 hours. Like last night, I went to bed at 12, and I got up today at 6 a.m. Right? So 6 hours, I'm good to go. Because if you sleep too long, you're going to get lazy. If you sleep too little, you're going to be too tired. So sleep the right amount. When your alarm goes off, get up. Right? Leave a glass of water beside your nightstand. So when you get up, you drink the water right away. And guess what? Do 10 push-ups right when you get up. I guarantee you, after you do those push-ups, you're not going back to bed. Because your blood's flowing. It's like when you start a car engine, right? Right when you start a car, you don't just start driving. You let the car warm up for a second, right? How does a car warm up? It moves the pistons, it moves the interior and stuff, and it starts to get some oil flowing and lubrication, right? Everywhere around the engine. And then you can start driving. It's the same thing with the human body. When you guys get up, get your blood flowing right away. I mean, you guys are Indian. You guys know that yoga is an amazing way to start off the day, right? Start stretching, get that stuff going, and get up early and get to it. Okay, so I'm going to leave it off with that. Create a solid schedule for yourselves. Make your time you get up and the time you rise and the time that you sleep every day, make it the same, and create a schedule for yourself. The time you get up, the time you eat, the time that you do work, make it all a rhythmic. But I appreciate you guys, all guys and gals that are on here. I need to get some water. My throat's getting a little crazy now, but hopefully you guys gained some value from this call. I hope to maybe do this sometime in the future as well, but thank you, Mahesh, for having me on here. And I'm excited to see each and every single one of y'all continue to grow. Let's get it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Siva. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, drop some numbers, drop some gratitude message for Siva. Come on. Yeah, Siva, I'll just take some 5-10 minutes before we end the session. Yes. Hazal. Great. Okay. Yeah. So before we end the session, ma'am, listen to me, guys, everyone. Before we end the session, I want you guys to share maybe a word that has been really impactful for you. From the whole 1 hour, what is that one thing or one word that has given you a breakthrough? It has given you that one click, one pinch to get up from your seat and start working from tomorrow onwards, from today onwards, right? Share that one word, that one breakthrough thing that's gonna bring the change in you, right? I know there's a lot of changes, but if it's one thing or one word, what can it be? Yeah. So before that, yes, thank you so much, Siva, for coming up for the session in a very short notice period. Really appreciate you, brother, especially for me. There's always saying, master the basics, go back to the basics, go back to the trenches. That's where you grow more. And today's session for me has been something that I really appreciate because I went back time, and for me also, I need to start working more harder for the family, for the community, right? Thank you so much, Siva. Thank you again. I'm hoping to see, and hopefully we'll do more calls for the community in the coming future. Yes, so thank you so much, everyone. I'll just read out some consistency, make it rhythmic, If nothing changes, nothing changes. Strong goal breakdown, um, consistency and capital preservation, journal for everything. Ego is the enemy, capital preservation, six figure, life journaling, capital preservation, insanity. Yes, journal your life. Same time in market every day, and you have to be same in time. Yes, journal consistency. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gonna read ego is the enemy. Yes, early bird gets the worm. Yes. So for me, one sentence that I'm gonna change from tomorrow is no video games. Yes, nice. Yeah, you can follow Siva slaying pips. Yeah, I will be tagging him on a story right now, so you can check my story and you can just follow him.
I
And
just want to
otherwise, you
say
can just
something, Mahesh,
yeah,
if you don't mind.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, some people think that just because you're at a certain level in life that you're not going to answer to people and ask questions and all of that. And I genuinely do reply to every single one of my DMs. So, if you guys, have anything you want to ever ask me, questions, concerns, doubts, I mean, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I'm very close with Mahesh. His community is like my community, anyways. And the way I look at it is we're all striving towards the same goals. So if you guys need any help, closed mouths don't get fed, right? And crossed arms don't count bread. And that's very important. So if you guys need help, make sure you reach out. Take it back, brother.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, thanks, thanks. So don't hesitate. You can just whatever you want to ask him. He's always there to help. Yeah. Bohomo Stuti, is that a Sri Lankan word, brother? Bohomo Stuti. Nice. Discipline will make a change. Yes, 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 yes. So thank you, everyone. One glass of water and 10 push-up is something I've written down so big because that's something I need to do. So I hope you guys made notes. I hope. So one thing that Siva told is backtesting yourself, becoming self-aware, So backtesting yourself is where you always go back to what all you have done, what are the things you have done, what are the mistakes you have done, where you can improve, where you can change. And that's when you make notes, you go back to those notes. When you read it again, you work on applying that on the next day. So make sure you guys are applying. Knowing and not doing is not knowing, right? You guys know it, no? So it's the main thing is applying. So make sure you guys apply. Thank you so much, Siva. Really grateful. Thank you so much, everyone. And one thing I want to tell you guys, we had 120 people. I think that's the first time we are seeing 120 people. So I want to see 120 people from tomorrow onwards for the session. ꯍꯌꯦꯡꯗꯒꯤ 80 ꯁꯨꯔꯗꯤ ꯈꯪꯅꯔꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯦ ꯃꯥꯜꯍꯟꯕꯤ ꯃꯤ ꯉꯥꯛꯇꯅꯤꯁꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯝ ꯈꯪꯉꯅꯤ. So yes, thank you, Siva. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you guys on the next session. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Siva, you can end the call.